Hi, my name is Latif Sehgal, and this is going to be a short video on ReSharper. ReSharper is an awesome Visual Studio plugin from JetBrains. Its goals are to increase developer productivity and to improve the code quality. Once I install ReSharper and open up my solution, I can press Ctrl T and start typing the class name that I want to navigate to. I can also use the camel case convention to filter for different class names here. If I want to go to any file in the solution, I can press Ctrl Shift T and start writing the file name. Once I have a class or file opened, I can press Alt/ and navigate to different members in that file. If I press Alt Shift T, I can navigate to any symbol in the whole solution. If I want to access the recently closed files, all I have to do is press Ctrl, comma. If I invoke the navigation menu on any class or interface, I can navigate to the different implementations or base classes and so on. ReSharper comes with a built-in decompiler, so if I press F12 over any class name that's not a part of my solution, then ReSharper tries to download the code for that class from the Microsoft symbol server. If it doesn't find it there, it just decompiles it dynamically for us. If you look at the right hand side in Visual Studio here, you'll see a bunch of yellow and green and red lines. That's ReSharper trying to tell us that our code can be improved. If I go to the first warning, it's showing us, it's telling us that we have some unused namespace references. If I press Alt Enter, it gives me the option to clean it up. Similarly, if I go to the next warning, it's telling me that I have an unused variable here and that I can clean it up. If I go further down, it gives me a cleaner way to invoke some link code. Further down, it's telling me that I'm enumerating over a collection multiple times, and I probably want to convert it to a list or an array before accessing it. If you want, you can change the warning type that you see for different issues in ReSharper. ReSharper gives you a lot of powerful refactoring capabilities. If I select some block of code here and invoke the refactor command, it lets me move the selected code into its own method. It's smart enough to figure out what parameters need to be passed in to the newly created method. The refactoring options that you see are context sensitive, and you might get different options if you invoke it on a class or a method name. You can easily change the signature of any method using ReSharper. You can also move methods to base classes or interfaces. You also get some solution-wide refactorings. So if I invoke my refactor command on a solution or a project, I get the option to adjust namespaces and make them consistent throughout, and to also move classes into matching file names. I can also remove the unused assembly references. ReSharper also gives you some nice code generation capabilities. So if I invoke the code generation command here, I can easily create a constructor. If my class had some state like a field or a property, and I invoke the same constructor generation command, then ReSharper is smart enough to ask you if you want to initialize that property or field as part of your constructor. ReSharper also gives you access to different template options, and one of my favorite template options is the surround with. So I can select any block of code and surround it with a template. You can edit and create new templates if you want in ReSharper. ReSharper also comes with a built-in unit test runner. I think out of the box it has support for MS Test and NUnit, but you can download plugins to support more testing frameworks. If I go to any test, I see an option on the left-hand side to run the test in Visual Studio. I can also run all the tests together if I want. Besides C#, ReSharper also has a lot of support for MVC, JavaScript, CSS, XAML, and WinIt applications. You can also install plugins for ReSharper and even create your own plugins using the SDK they provide. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to updates for my website using either the RSS option or subscribing to the newsletter.